All right, guys. So figured I would take some time and just kind of there's a little model cleanup stuff that we got to do. So figured I'd take a session here and clean up some stuff, and we're also gonna just revisit the basement level, get some of that stuff up to speed. So why don't we go ahead and get started here? So let's jump in. First thing I noticed was, the original windows I used. Whoops, let's go up one level here. The original windows I used were not quite the right ones. That's okay. We can always have placeholders. So these current windows, I realized as I was drawing our elevations there or getting our elevations on sheets, I should say, that I don't have the right window in here. So if you downloaded the kind of family packs from Blackboard, you shouldn't have an issue here. But if, like me, you use the kind of standard single window, I think it's called here. I'm going to jump to the main level here. The single window, single plane. In fact, what you could do is we're just going to update it. So I'm going to insert load family, and we're going to look for our window concept plane double. This will have all the same sizes of our single window, except we got this kind of double leaf variety. So hit open. It's all good. Now I'm just going to jump through and 910 by 910. And I'm going to do, instead of the single, I'm going to do the double here. And you'll see just a small change, but now we've got two leaves for our little window here. So one thing we can do, I should make sure I've done this, is, do I have a type mark in here? I do, but it's 50. Here, we'll just double check that in a little bit. So let's see what we got here. Did I make my type mark in here? 44. Okay, let's try this. So 44. Let's see what this one is. I'm just checking my type mark because this is how we're actually going to link. So 48. Hopefully this one's also 48. It is. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually right click and select all instances visible in this view, and I'm going to swap them all for my 910 by 910 double. That's going to automate that and do them all at the same time. Select all instances visible in view. I'm going to do 18 by 910. But I want to do my double here, and you'll see everything should update. I see these ones didn't update, so these must be slightly different. What are these called? Single plane. Slightly different variation here. So 18 by 910, 1810 by 1210. So that's okay. I'm just going to go through, control click all of them, and I'm going to make these 1810 by, I think it's 910, but for the double variety here, I think that's right. Let's just double check here in my elevations. Oh, I guess actually I should just check here. 1810 by 910. So that's what they should have been. 1810 by 910 based on my little window schedule here. And real quick here, I've got a couple different type marks that I want to do. So I've got ones and twos. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to edit my window type to show a type mark of 1 for my small window and a type mark of 2 for my bigger window. So go ahead and hit OK there. So I'm missing my window tags here. So I should make sure I've got my window tags loaded as well. Anno tag windows right here. Hit that one. I'm going to overwrite the existing version. And now, annotate. And we can do this a couple different ways. We can tag by category, or we can actually tag all of these. Let's see what happens if I tag all of my windows at the same time. Scroll down, window tags. Let's see what we get. Hit OK. Ta-da! Ones and twos. So ones and twos. I kind of want the box on, so I'm going to right click, select all instances in entire project, and I'm going to do boxed. Nice. So I actually put these on the outside, which is fine. Are you a window? You're not a window. You're a door. That's okay. Ones and twos. That is looking good on the ones and twos sides of things. I also want us to pay attention to, you should see all of our, if you've done this correctly, we should see all of our elevation markers and our section markers showing up correctly here if you've got them correctly showing on the sheets. So 3 A202, 1 A202, and so on and so forth. So we should start to see all of those things starting to populate because we've got them on sheets. If they're blank, it means that you don't quite have your sheets set up correctly. You're welcome to rename the doors if you want. It's not really a big deal. Professionally wise, it would make sense to start from 1 and work your way up. One thing that I haven't touched on, which I should probably do, is the window schedule. So why don't we go ahead and do that? Very similar to building our drawing list, our kind of sheet list here, but schedules are, again, a very good way to build information into the model. I believe that my type 3 mark here is going to be my basement window. I got 1s and 2s on the main floor, and then I've got, if I go to my basement level, I think I'm going to have 3s. There they are. So 3s are going to be slightly smaller, and let's go ahead and check that. So what I might do for us now is I'll move into the basement and let's generate some content there, and then we could get our windows into the basement level. So let's do that now. Maybe we'll go to my basement view, up one. Here we go. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to jump to my basement here. Let's go over to our plan. We could do it in the plan view, or you can do it in your sheet view. If you really like working in the sheet view, you can. Some people frown upon this. I don't really think it matters that much. Maybe I'm wrong, but you can work in the sheet view if this is where you want to work. But, for me, why not just go ahead? You can see they're the exact same, right? Again, they're not twins. They are the same. So what I want to do, I probably want to do a kind of series of cross walls here, right? So in fact, what I might do is, why don't I show you a nice little trick here? So we could copy the walls from above downstairs. So I'm going to copy the walls from my main floor down. So I know that these walls should be roughly in the same spot. In fact, they should be the same spot. And let's go ahead and try that. So you can click on one wall, tab select, remember tab, and hold control button. You hold the control button to select a second wall here. And I come over here to my clipboard here, and I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to jump down to my basement view. And what we could do is we actually paste the little drop down here, and we'll say align to current view. Highlighted walls overlap. I think that's cool for now. So I don't really want this, but what I do want is some sense of where this wall is going to be, because those walls really need to stack. I have a feeling that the walls are, if I control click, basement up to main floor, and we're probably going to need to offset that by the depth of the floor. So we'll check that out in section in just a second. But I've got one wall, two walls, and then a kind of cross wall. I think it's in the middle of the floor plan. Oh, roughly. It's not exactly in the middle, but we should be able to find a middle here somewhere. Middle, midpoint, something like this. All the way across. Do I need any other walls? Does not look like it. Yeah, so that's cool. So why don't we just start to dimension some of these things? So let's give ourselves a dimension here of this wall. I should probably get my windows in here. So let's do... you know what? Let's do the windows first. So we got our walls in here. Am I missing any? Not really missing any. I'll have to organize them a little bit. But now let's do some windows. And I got to remember what is the window type that I'm using for my basement. So window type 3. And what I could do is actually come up to, my window schedule here. It's a 610 by 910 window here. So... I wonder why is it different though? I wonder if this is a single window. Come on. No. You know what it is? It's because the sill type is different. So the sill height is slightly different. So we'll see it over here. Sill height is typically 1200, which is roughly 4 feet. And the reason this type mark is different is because we'll have a slightly different sill height. And it's also 610. I see it's a slightly smaller window. 610 by 910, slightly smaller window. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll give ourselves a 610 by 910 instead of a 910 by 910. And let's see what we got for our windows. Window, and I'm looking for 610 by 910. It is here. And yeah, so how many windows do I have? Let's go to our basement view. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. And then down here we've got 1, just 2. So just 2 windows. You might notice if they're on the wrong side, I think we want to have them on the outside, which we do. So we want to have them on the outside. But what you notice is like, well, what the heck is going on here? Why are my windows looking so funky? And the reason for that is that Revit wants us to know where the windows are. But if you remember from our previous video, the view range, so where we're cutting these windows, is now kind of all messed up, right? So remember, we're in the basement, we're below grade. So what we need to do, in fact, is reset these sill heights. So this should actually be 2000, for instance. And that's going to lift our window up. So if I was to go to an elevation of, what's this, the north side, we should be able to see these windows in our elevation. So you can see I've elevated these. So control click, and I can add these to a selection, make it 2000. Do the same thing on the south side with our windows here. Oh, what's going on here? Why are these all different? Sill height. Oh, wrong sill height. So this is what we got to do. We got to make sure everything is cool here. So 2000, and I can see that my windows aren't quite lined up. So what I should do is probably make these 1200. This is all about checking our drawings as we do it. This looks good though. What do we got? 1200, 1200, 1200. 1200 all looks good. Let's jump back to the basement here for just a second. And really what's happening here is in this view, right? You might be wondering, you're like, well, what the heck? The windows look pretty good. So I think I had a couple comments from us in Blackboard here. How do I get my windows to show up correctly? And of course, this is to do with the view range. So the view range, we're actually going to cut our windows at just above 2000, right? So we should probably be cutting at let's take a shot here. So remember, we're going to come to our view range here, and we want our cut plane to be, rather than 1200, we know that our sill height for our windows is 2000. So let's go ahead and make this 2200. Let's see if we can do this real quick. Make it 2200, hit apply, and we should see these things populate. So looks good. Looks pretty good. Now what I'm worried about is where our doors are going to be. So what we'll do first now is we're going to set some dimensions up. So let's get our walls all dimensioned up. Remember, DI is dimension. I'm going to give myself an overall dimension here. I'm going to turn on thin lines. Give myself an overall dimension first. Hopefully this is in the ballpark. Interesting. I wonder if I've got the wrong gypsum type again, but that's okay. Should be close to this. I'm not going to be upset for a couple millimeters here and there. Oh, I didn't even tag these walls, so we can just delete these for now. Keep our grid lines, our dimensions nice and clean. That 8350. Oh, then I got to do my partitions. So just cleaning up a little bit of getting some information into our drawings. This isn't showing up, which is okay. So ideally, you would really show every wall and every face, but for us, for right now, I just want to get these dimensions all sorted out. So, do I do to the inside? I did. To the inside face, a wall here, to the inside face of our windows, and we're just making our dimension string here as we go. Oh, I got to grab my walls, don't I? Wall to wall. Oh, I don't need that one. That one's not helpful for me. Grab my windows, grab the inside face. Something like that. And let's do the same thing north-south here. Oh, do I need that? I probably don't need that either. No, we're good. Okay, so continue to dimension here. Do I have an overall? I don't. Let's just do inside windows, right? I'm going to grab our, I do need both sides of this one. Something like this, inside face, all the way over here. And it's starting to come together. We got our dimensions showing up. I'm going to change this to, what do I make it, 108? Something like this. It's going to shift that over. Make this, what did I just say, 3514? 3514. Whoops. You can see, so sometimes this happens. So Revit is now fighting. Which side do I really want to make it? If you do see that, just move over to the next object. Make it 3514. 910. 866. Look at that. We're so close. 866, almost in the center. This one, we're actually going to, I think we need to trim this. Oh, we're actually just going to extend it. So that's what we could do is go to the Modify tab, and we can extend this down. And just what we want to keep here. What's this one? 2724. Something like this. Grab our next window. 1630. You can see I'm just inputting the data. Hopefully this is 1414. Aha! What do you guys think I did? I'm going to guess right off the bat that I got 3 millimeters too much, not enough on the inside edge here. And let's just jump in here. And sure enough, it should be 16 instead of 13. If you have that mistake, just keep it going. So I'm going to control click here. All of my stuff, and I'm going to move it right or east by 3 millimeters. And that should keep everything nice and true. Middle wall here, 3375. Let's see what we get. 3375. Highlight walls overlap. I think that's okay. And let's jump down here. We've got 1000. Oh, what's that? 105. That's okay. 1008. Should be good to go. And then we got 3314. I usually like to keep round numbers here, but that's okay. 160 something, 166. So remember, if we click on the dimension string, you pull that 166 out. 2200, looking good. 5258, all looking pretty solid. So what else are we missing here? Remember, we got some doors. So DR for door. I'm going to throw my super tiny door. So I don't want my tiny door. I probably want a more standard 910 door. Remember, spacebar to flip. Flip those doors in there. And what I could do here is I'll just do these for now and then change them to, where's my door opening? Let's do a nice little something like this. Right, so this is what I was afraid of. So those openings now, remember our view range, we've now set it to be 2200. Right, so our view range is set to 2200. So these doors are still available to us. So if I jump to a little 3D view here, you'll see that those openings, I don't want to use, I do want to use this one. I'll show you real quick using our section box tool. Our windows are starting to look good on the outside there, but if I pull this over, I do want to check out, see our doors are still here, but what's happening is we've cut through where our windows are, right? But not through where our doors are. So I wonder, is there a kind of happy medium? Let's actually select all these and make sure we got the right one. Let's make it even higher. We'll make it a little bit higher that match the door heights there. So that looks good. 2132, I think it is. And now what we could do is, why don't we actually set our view range in our basement to 2100, and let's see if that will work. I think it's going to work, but let's just double check it here. So instead of the cut plane being 2200, which is just above where we need to be, if I hit OK, ta-da, and like that, we've got our doors back in action. We got annotate in here. We want to make sure we're going to annotate our doors. So where's my annotate by category here? I can probably turn off this free end here and just make it, I actually don't even want a leader. So attached end I'll turn off, and I think I'll turn off our leader line. Just make it 30, 31, something like this. And now I also want to make sure that I annotate my wall types in here. So I want to turn that leader line back on. IW1, interior wall 1, so on and so forth. So really, what else do I got to do in here? I got to make sure I have my rooms, right? So remember, our rooms are not in the annotate tab. They're going to be in the room tab. Rooms over here. Blam, 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 blam. So I got my rooms. Got the wrong tag in here, so I'm going to control, and I'm going to give width area. So I got all my rooms with my areas here. I'll rename this all caps storage. Whoops. Storage, right? Come over here. What do I call this? Rec rooms. Nice little, nice little pool table or whatever you like to use in your house. A little guest bedroom with some windows in there, and the mechanical room. So let's do a little boiler room. This is a pretty big mechanical room, but that's okay. Oh, I call it mechanical room. Okay, let's just do Mechanical. Looking good. So the basement revisited. Oh, I didn't do the hallway. So let's remember when we select, we can actually either come up here to the room here. Let's do a room and give ourselves a little, what do I call this, stairway? Hallway. Whoops. Come on. Come on, Revit. Or we could just move this up just a touch. Now we got a hallway in there. Hallway, rec room, so on and so forth. So starting to look the part. Oh, we don't have our type marks in here. So let's make sure we do that for our windows. And yeah, let's make sure we do that. So type marks. Do I have a type mark in here? Let's check the edit type. Type mark should be 3. Hit OK. And now we can jump over to annotate. And let's do tag all. Go to window tags and hit apply. And we should see a little 3 populate there. I got the wrong. I want to do a boxed one here. Now they're all boxed. That looks good. I wonder if we got a boxed one here. Do we have a boxed one for this? Boxed. So what I could do is, why don't I actually select all these? Select all in the entire project. Box them out. Oh, I see. It's not going to let me do that because that's an instance. Anywho, okay, so that's starting to look the part here. I wonder, did I give you guys the wrong door tag? Let's just check this out. I'm going to do a little load in of our door tag, and let's make sure we got the right door mark in here. If I hit open, of course. And so that's okay. So what we'll do is I'm actually going to select all the instances in the entire project. It's not going to let me do that. So I'm going to have to go in and swap these for these little pill shapes instead of the squares. Squares we could use for the windows, and these little pills we can use for the doorways. So got that in there. What else do we got? Oh, you know what we're missing? Washer, dryer, ERV, and our hot water tank. So over here we got a dryer and a washer. So let's grab those from our family here. So let's make sure we got a washer and a dryer and a water heater. So the water heater's over there. Let's do the washer dryer first. Where's my washer? Where's my dryer? Sometimes. Where's my washer? Where's my dryer? Did I neglect to give you... Oh, there it is. There's the dryer. So washer, dryer. Here we go. So washer, front load. Let's pop that in there. Let's load everything at the same time. Let's do a dryer. Load that. What else do we got to load? We got to load the water heater. And then let's load the ERV or the economizer module. And now let's just place them. I didn't really give us too much to go from in the assignment. Just a rough placement. So let's go ahead and place those components. We should have the economizer. Remember, spacebar is going to give us a rotation here. You know what? Let's just place everything. We can place all 3 of these things. And then I'll just come back in and swap this for, I'll look for a water heater, which I put in here. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so it's not going to let me just swap. I thought it was going to. Stupid components. There we go. So I'm going to look, next thing I'm going to look for is not my refrigerator. I'm looking for my water heater. Let's do a 190 water heater in here. I hope that's liters, 190 liters. Components, look for a dryer in our type selector. So let's try and find the dryer here. Spacebar to rotate it. Which way do I got it? Okay, dryer on the left. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, let's look for the washer. So the washer should be in here, and we should see it something like that. Washer, dryer next to one another, looking pretty good. So thin lines back on, we're looking good. Am I missing anything here? Looks about right. This could be a little closer. Looks good. Now, just real quick, let's just jump back into our sheets and see what our basement looks like. So basement floor plans, look at that, nice and tidy. Looking the part here, pretty close to our reference. You know, you don't have to be spot on with the location of our text, but our stairs should be there. You know, everything should be tagged properly. We got our wall type tagged, elevations tagged, all of this fun stuff. So next things next. So The window schedule. So that's where we were. If we jump back up to our main floor, we're going to have, main floor. We're going to have a little window schedule populated over here. And what's that going to help us with? It's going to help the contractor understand how many of each of these types of windows do we have? What size are they? What's the rough width? What's the type mark? How do we locate them in the plan? And so what we'll do is, much like the other schedules here, what we could do is look for, what am I in? Am I in something? Why is everything grayed out? I must be in a tool, guys. This is, what am I in? Am I inside of a sheet somewhere? Oh boy. Oh boy. Interesting. Looks okay. I don't think I'm inside of anything. But what I do want to do is come back to my, I'm in this. So right now I'm currently inside. Aha! Look at this. Look at this nonsense. So this is what I was afraid of, is our wall is currently coming through our floor. So this is one thing we should always be mindful of to check. Look at this. It's also messed up our rooms, right? So this this wall is now, even though I copy pasted it, it's coming all the way through our floor. So if I check out a section view, oh nuts, look at this. Making a mess of things. Gotta move you back. Making a mess of things. So how do I check this out? Well, I can maybe go to my 3D view. It's probably the safest view to check what the hell's going on here. So if I go to my 3D view, did I turn it off? I must have turned it off. I did. But let's check out if we can find that wall. And we'll see it pretty quickly. Aha! Look at this bullshit. So it's coming through the floor. What we want to do is make sure where this says top offset, we're going to set it to 0. But that actually doesn't lower it below the floor level, right? So what we want to do is let's check out what's the thickness of this floor. If I hit the filter there, check none. I can't remember how thick my floor is. If I come into the edit type here, it's going to tell me pretty quickly 238 in the thickness. And what I could do is click on this wall, and I'm actually going to make the top offset negative 238. And now that's going to land just below my floor. Look at this. Look at this bullshit. So same thing over here. I actually want this to be negative 238. So something to be mindful of when we put those the walls in at our basement level, that they don't start to pop up through the floor. Okay, cool. Main floor level. So right click, deactivate the view. We're going to do a little schedule in here. So let's, did I lose my, maybe I lost my room here. Oh no, we're back. Okay, we're cool. What I want to do is create a little schedule of our windows. So how do we do that? We're actually going to make a little window schedule. So how do we do that? Let's try and keep it nice and tidy here. So we're going to come up to our view. We're going to create a little schedule. So schedules and quantities, make a little schedule based on it. Scroll all the way down to Windows. Whoops, not zone equipment. Doing Windows, hit OK. And let's, I know we did this for the sheet schedule, but like what we should do is we're looking for these considerations. So type mark, rough height, rough width. And if you do them in order, you don't have to change anything. So what we can do is look for the type mark. Let's do that one first. Then go to rough width. Where's my R? Rough width, rough height. Oh, I did still height instead. Let's move that over just for now. Rough width. Oh, I did rough height first. Oh, for goodness gracious. Let's do rough height, rough width, and then do type. So the type is going to tell us what type of window it is. And we're going to jump down to go to width. And we'll go to sill height. We can go to manufacturer, which is M. Manufacturer might be helpful. The count, which is C. Let's go to count. Go to cost if that's something you want to include, cost, and then comments. So comments, we could put anything in here. But if I hit OK, we should see a little schedule populated. Now what you'll notice is we've got everything kind of itemized, and they're not really organized in any meaningful way. So we're going to make a little modification here when it comes to sorting these. And keep track here. I'm going to hit this edit command. and we're going to sort by the type mark, and we're going to check this little itemize at every instance. So you'll see a little checkbox here. Make sure you check that off, hit OK, and we should see something like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, if you've placed your basement windows. So now we're going to jump back into my main floor plan view, and I'm going to throw this little schedule onto our page. You should see the schedule will be populated over here. So I'm going to drag and drop over here. And now we can actually just expand these a little bit. You know, maybe we want a little bit more room or less room, but these little triangles are going to help us with that, especially over here. You can see now, nice little schedule. We can click, hold, and drag that, and we can create a nice little schedule. There you go. Something like that. So your schedule should look something like this. Now remember, we've got the counts are done for us. It's taking all the data from your Revit model and populating it into this little schedule. Super powerful, super fun. So I hope that was helpful. We're now getting to the final throws here. We're missing one thing, which is the trees, and a little bit of maybe we should do some work here on the stair. But overall, we're getting close to the end game here. So thanks again for hanging out with me. I hope these videos are helpful. If you got questions, comments, or criticisms, I'm always happy to answer additional questions. If you get stuck, we can kind of walk through together how to get to the end game here. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.